Dear student, today in this video lecture, discuss about the architecture of client server. Client server architecture is a architecture that client give the request to server for using any application or file, and server provide the provide the response desired to client. So in the client server architecture, we need WWW World Wide Web is distributed client server services in which a client using a browser can access a service using a server. However, the service provided is distributed over many locations. These many locations distributed are called sites. This service provided is distributed over many locations called sites. For example, architecture of WWW shown in the figure. If clients request to site A, the site A provides the response web page to client. Similarly, client requests site B and site B provide the web page of B to client. This is the architecture of World Wide Web. And browser is the combination of hypertext transfer protocol, file transfer protocol, telnet as SMT. And these type of protocol already we discussed in the previous lectures. So browser controller are associated with these HTTP, FTP, telnet, SMT protocol, and also use as an interpreter HTML, JavaScript, Java, and these combination of browser help provide the browsing of clients. So first we use the URL Unified Resource Locator. URL have 4 sections. First protocol is, and second part is host, next port, next path. Now this is the example of Uniform Resource Locator. In the Uniform Resource Locator, client that want to access a documents needs address to facilitate the access of document distributed throughout the world. So HTTP uses the concept of locator. The Uniform Resource Locator is standard for specifying the kind of information on the internet. The URL define 4 things: method, host, computer, port, and path. The method is protocol used to retrieve a document, for example, hypertext transfer protocol. The host is the computer where the information is located. Web pages are usually stored in the computer. So a URL optionally can contain the port number of the server. If the port is included, it should be inserted between the host and the path and should be separated from the host by a column. Path is a path name of the file where his information is located. So URL Uniform Resource Locator, write that method colon / host colon port public path. Some documents are used. That document are known web document. The document in the World Wide Web can be grouped into 3 broad categories: static, dynamic, and active. 3 type of web document are used in WWW. The category is based on the time at which the content of the document are determined. So first we discuss about what is the meaning of a static document and dynamic document and active document. So static document means client request to server and server provide static HTML document to the client. This is the static documents. Some static document we use the command like this is the text of bold faced. We use the P and ending by /P. Effect of the bold faced text. This is the text to be the bold faced browser. This is the text of the bold faced. Of HTML tag are used for static documents. Now dynamic document using for server side script, client request. This run the script inside the HTML documents, and this scripts dynamic HTML document provide to client. Similarly, dynamic documents are sometimes referred to as a server-side dynamic documents. Active document using Java applets. So, in the active documents using Java applet, for example, client send the request to server, server give the response as applet, and result run the applet to get the result. Run the applet in the server side and provide the result. So active document using client side script. The client send request to server, server provide JS and run the JavaScript JS to get the result, the client side. This is the example of active documents. So active documents are sometimes referred as client side dynamic documents. Next, discuss about HTTP. So a hypertext transfer protocol is a protocol used mainly to access data on World Wide Web. So HTTP function as a combination of FTP and SMTP. FTP and SMTP already discussed in the previous lecture. So HTTP uses a services of TCP on well-known port 8080. So hypertext transfer protocol also explained here. HTTP is protocol used mainly to access data in the World Wide Web. The protocol transfer data in the form of plain text, audio, video, and so on. So, however, it is called a hypertext transfer protocol because its efficiency allows us to use a hypertext environment where there are rapid jump from document to another. And next function of hypertext transfer protocol like that STP function, like a combination of FTP and SMTP. It is similar of FTP because it transfer file and uses the services of TCP. However, it is much simpler than FTP because it is used only TCP connection. There is not separate control connection on the data for transfer between client and server. Next function of HTTP. HTTP messages are not destined to be read by human. They are read and interpreted by the HTTP server and HTTP client browser. The idea of HTTP is very simple. A client send request which look like mail to the server send the response which look like the mail reply to the client. So simple process of HTTP transaction, client request and server provides simply response. Now next topic, discuss here virtual private network, VPN. So what is the VPN? Virtual private network. VPN stands for virtual private network. With availability of huge infrastructure of public network, the virtual private network VPN technology is gaining popularity among enterprises having office dispersed throughout the country. So before the discuss about the VPN technology, let us first discuss about the related term of internet and extranet. Internet is private network as uses the internet model for exchange of information. A private network has a following feature. First feature of the private network, it has limited applicability because access is limited to the users inside the network. Second, isolate network ensure privacy. Third, can use the private IP address with the private network. So extranet is same as the intranet with the exemption that some resources can be allowed to access by some specific group under the control of network administration. Privacy can be achieved by using of the three models: private network, hybrid network, and virtual private network. So private network up to LAN like that, site A and site B. Private network is small organization with a single site can be single LAN, where a organization with several LANs are connected, lease line and router as shown in the figure. This is the example of private network. And similarly, hybrid network. Many organizations want to privacy inner organization level data exchange same time. They want to communicate with other through the global internet. One One solution to achieve this the implement of hybrid network shown in the figure. In this case, provide hybrid network high cost of implementation, particularly private wires are expensive for implementation. So site A, these are LANs are connected with the help of internet to site B. Next, virtual private network VPN technology allow both private communication and public communication through the global internet shown in the figure. VPN uses IP security in the tunnel mode, provide authentication. So interiorly and privacy in the internet private security tunnel mode datagrams and the encapsulated to another diagram as a payload. So it required two set of addressing shown in the figure. Set A are connected to internet set B. So thank you.